As Impact has really grown and evolved into a global leader of managed IT, of cybersecurity, of process automation and document management, we really felt that just the need had really emerged for more complex and long form and more nuanced education, particularly because our people are our greatest asset, so anything we can do to really keep investing and propelling them to new heights and keep up with the pace of technological change became an obvious choice of investment for the leadership team. The Impact Leadership Institute certainly has lofty goals, but the key is that it just continues to remain a very fluid and ever-changing resource to all employees. That's above all, as just a support net and as a professional development resource, really the biggest key and goal of the Impact Leadership Institute. But with that said, there are more specific and measurable business outcomes that we're hoping for, and that's certainly where we started as the team is getting built and as curriculum is being developed. We really narrowed in on a success model of a three-pronged approach to learning and what that looks like, especially in the adult learning space. So first and foremost would be having really sound, informed, and strategic curriculum. We have a knowledge base that's extensive within our four walls between all of our different divisions. So how can we make good use of that and really share and disseminate information to continue the success model of bringing on the next leaders? The second part of that success framework would be having really realistic and real-time in the field mentoring and modeling. And then the third would be as an extension of both of those things to have a space of digital learning. So a component of that self-paced and self-guided learning that folks can continue to go back to and have reinforced concepts of, again, the previous to that classroom instruction and in the field mentoring and modeling, and then be able to have that component to lean back on. So with that success framework in place, I think that puts us in a good position to really attack the needs as they arise, again, to keep up with just the technological pace of change and how to keep our people prepared and armed for that. There were a lot of challenges that needed to be addressed, particularly for good reason, none other than growth pains. So what worked as a 200-person organization here at Impact aren't going to be the same things that work as we become a 1,000 employee organization and all the changes in between. So I was a bit of an unlikely candidate to be tapped in leading a corporate education department, but really it began because as the director of sales strategy, my pursuit was really focused on global best practices. And in the pursuit of that, education and the empowerment that education can provide became an obvious channel. And so that's really where the attention went to in building this team up, in looking around to say how can we make our best asset be even better and be more prepared and better armed for the changes to come in our industry. So the challenges that we'll continue to look at will always be business outcome based, and I think that comes from my background in sales, always looking at the numbers and what are the success benchmarks or the key performance indicators, whether that's turnover or advancement potential, or just the transaction size and complexity that we're able to take on and the support nets that we're able to keep up with that. Those will all be measures of success that our team looks at. I think Impact has taken so well to the idea of corporate education because it's so inherent to the DNA of what makes Impact special, which is career advancement, upward mobility, the opportunity to pursue more, sometimes even faster than you think you're ready for it. So all of those things always come back to having a sound educational basis to springboard from and continue to pursue new dreams or new heights. I think that having that sort of backing and excitement surrounding education speaks a lot to the culture of the company, that people have been thirsting for it. People want to continue to learn, again, as we move into more complex areas and as our brand positioning and go-to-market strategy really does evolve from what was previously a hardware-based dealer to now a more nuanced managed services provider. There's a lot of learning that needs to take place in between that, and people have been really excited and just really hungry to take it on. So that's been a lot of fun to work with, a lot of energy to harness, and a lot of to-dos that have stacked up in a short amount of time. Before any business were to undertake launching a corporate education department, there's certainly a lot of considerations to bear in mind. I think what's made the Impact Leadership Institute so successful is that My background comes directly from the field and comes directly from working with all of the teams within Impact to know, with your finger on the pulse, what is actually happening out in the field, what's actually happening at the customer level, and how does that need to resonate and keep up internally in all of our operations across recruiting, training, onboarding, to marketing, sales collateral, thought leadership, and everything else. So the key for any business to really launch this sort of department successfully, I think, comes from tapping the right internal resources, ones who've been on the front lines and know exactly what the culture of the company is and what the mission is, and really start with the business outcome first and work backwards from there. That's been a really helpful measure of success, to just reverse engineer and say and understand what it is that we're hoping to accomplish, particularly in such a time of change and continuous growth, and the ability to stay flexible and adaptable to that and be willing to invest. I think that is really the second piece of it. The right talent, the right resources, and the right tools to allow those success frameworks to really come to life, to allow that three-pronged success model really come to life, from classroom instruction to in-field mentoring and modeling and digital learning. All of those things do take investments and resources. But I think when you marry that with the right talent, really the sky's the limit.